Okay, BHS. Okay, better have steak. Rick? RK? What? Bud X? What is this, extreme sport now? What? All those letters. Confusing, right? What do they actually mean? Whether you're going to be traveling as a couple, solo, a family, or you're going to be full-timing on the road, understanding the differences between these floor plans and how they impact you is going to help you pick the RV that's right for you. And what do you say we start with one of the most family-friendlies, the bunkhouses? Bunkhouses, they're great for families, multi-generational. You got the kids, the grandkids. You just need additional sleeping or storing spaces. Bunkhouses are great, but there's a lot of variation in the letters. They can be BH, BHS, bunkhouse slide, DBH, double bunk, QB, quad bunk, tons of bunks. What do you say we check some of them out, starting with a DBH? Bunkhouses are awesome, and a lot of times that dedicated sleeping space could be all over the rear or middle of the RV. Mid bunks, you might have a bunk room that's separate with a loft space up above it. Bunk rooms in travel trailers are usually on the camp or the off-camp side. And the great thing about double bunks is great for teens, great for larger kids, because it gives you almost a full-size bed, but you'll have things like privacy curtains, windows, lights, power options, and the bottom bunk sometimes will even flip up to give you more conversion or storage space. Regardless, versatility and additional sleeping spots are always good inside of RVs. Now, some RVs take that concept a little bit further with what's known as a bunk room layout. Now, a lot of times in fifth wheels, these are going to be midship of the RV. Usually in travel trailers, they're going to be in the rear, and you'll see them listed as MBs, but a lot of them will also fall under that broader BH category. The thing that's awesome about these is you have a separate enclosed bunk room. A lot of times you'll have different configurations. You might have a double over bunk here on the campsite. There might be a half bath. There might be versatile functions like a pull-out bed that also doubles as a sofa, fold-up bunks, the whole nine. The great thing about this is the space. You got extra eating space, extra game room space, extra entertaining space, all in a room that's separated from the rest of the coach, giving the kids or the adults their own getaway. If you're thinking about a bunk room, let me give you some buying considerations as well. The first thing you want to ask, what are the weight ratings for the bunks? A lot of times you'll see them listed, but if they're not, just talk to the dealer, talk to your specialist at Camping World and say, what's the weights? Singles are usually 150, doubles are usually 300. Some manufacturers like Jayco will double that, so you'll get 300 on a single, 600 on the double, but check those capacities. Another thing to think about, what's the mattress situation like? These Teddy Bear Bunk Series mattresses can be comfortable, but as you can see, they're not very thick and they could also retain heat. So getting mattress toppers or maybe even upgraded mattresses might be a good call. Another one, what about the extras inside the bunk room? Do I have outlets? Do I have lights? Do I have window? Do I have any type of power situation? And do I have some privacy? So these are things to think about if you're looking at the bunk room setup. The great thing about bunks is going to be versatility. But there are so many different options and flavors, you just got to find the one that's right for you. Next up, we're going to switch from families to a little bit more couple-centric with, like a mullet, we're going to party in the rear of these RVs, rear kitchen, rear dinette, rear living, rear entertaining, rear. Rear kitchen, rear living, rear dining. These rear-oriented floor plans, a lot of times on the RV are just highlighted by R. So you have RB for rear bath, RD for rear dinette, RK, R kitchen, or sometimes just R for rear. Let's break them down, starting with the rear bathroom. This type of floor plan takes the bathroom and places it along the rear wall of the RV. This really opens up a ton of space, not only for things like linen storage, but you usually get bigger shower room, larger vanity space, but this type of floor plan is great for couples that need a little bit more elbow room inside the washroom. Let me give you a few buyer's tips though for the rear bath floor plan. You want to check where the entry door is located. Some floor plans will actually put the door a little bit more midship, that could affect your patio setup outside. Another buyer's tip, look for those storage options, especially here in the rear bathroom. You want spaces that are going to give you extra wardrobe or linen space, maybe even more storage space for your medicine items, and including drawers. This is one of those things that could add huge value to the day-to-day experience inside your RV. If you're towing a larger RV, check for a couple of things like distributed tongue weight as well as placement of the tanks. Sometimes in these rear bath layouts, the back of it can be a lot heavier, which can affect towing, so just check it. Now, rear living floor plans, these are a favorite among couples as well as full-timers. You got huge panoramic windows. You also have comfortable seating. A lot of times in the rear, you might have a jackknife sofa, comfy recliners, but this one is all about enjoying your camping experience with the views, which is why I think couples and full-timers love this floor plan. Now, a subcategory of the rear living is going to be the rear entertaining setup. This is where they'll take that living area space and swap it with like a giant TV so that you can have movie nights, great for the kids, also couple-centric, but gives you another little twist on this rear-oriented layout. Now, let's give you a couple of things to keep in mind when buying them. Now, whether you prefer the views or the entertainment, that's going to determine what type of setup you get. The rear living, that's going to have the chairs and stuff, you're going to have a nice, big, beautiful window on the outside. But if you're getting a rear entertainment, that window is going to be covered up in place of a wall so you can put a TV there. So, something to think about. And if you really want to open up the living room space and get that residential feel, look for an RV that's going to have dual opposing slides. That's going to give you a ton of space in that living area. Another tip, since I'm here, look for window placement and size of windows too. If you're gonna be doing a lot of hot weather camping, this is a spot where a lot of heat could potentially come in, especially in warmer climates. Now, if you're looking for the ideal RVs for chefs, RK or rear kitchens are great. Gone is the entertainment space and living space. Now you got a kitchen dominating the rear wall. A lot of times it's wraparound with tons of cabinet space, storage, and more importantly, prep space. This is the type of RV if you like to cook and entertain. But as with everything, here are a couple things to keep in mind. The rear of towable RVs are usually going to bounce a little bit more than others. So you want to make sure anything you got stored inside of here is going to be secured and safe. Now, whether it's a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, always confirm the counter height as well as the cabinet height, especially in fifth wheels, because the rear kitchen usually has a lot higher reach, so those cabinets could be hard to get to. Finally, you'll find a smaller selection of rear dinette or RD floor plans in travel trailers and fifth wheels. Now, these layouts typically will have nice, big, giant panoramic windows right in front of your dinette. A lot of times it's going to be a U-shaped dinette. These couple-centric smaller cuties are great for the flexibility as well, because you can go from dining or holding court to giving you some versatile sleeping space as well. But a couple of considerations before pulling the trigger on the rear dinette. Think about this. The U-shaped dinette does usually give you more sleeping space, but when it comes to seating or eating, as you can see, I'm taking up one whole side just by myself. So that could be an issue there. Another thing to think about, if this is going to be your main entertaining area, your main sitting area, whatever it may be, you might want to go with some upgraded cushions just to give you that extra support over the long haul. Rear-oriented layouts are all about balance, giving you more designated space up front and specialized functionality in the back. Let's talk about front living layouts. Now, as we flip from the rear to the front, literally, the front-oriented floor plans, you'll find letters like FL, FK, things like that. Let's take a look at a fifth wheel, because now I get a chance to show you one, number one, but I'll show you what front living looks like in a fifth wheel. Come on. A front living layout moves the living area to the raised front section, especially when you're talking about fifth wheels right here. What it does is it creates a spacious residential style area where you'll usually find opposing slides that'll have things like sleeper sofas, jackknife sofas, and usually a set of recliners, all centering around the front entertainment portion of your living area. What's great about this is the flexibility of entertaining, but having the beds, also versatile sleeping space. So if the kids want to do a movie night, you got fireplaces, you got entertainment, you got big TVs. Sometimes you'll even have big windows behind the TVs. This is an opulent but awesome space. As with all the floor plans, I want to try to give you some buying considerations as well. If you're looking for a front living fifth wheel, check the head height. That's going to be a big one. I'm 6'2", and as you can see, I'm already taller than the slides. Plus, I have room all the way up to the end of the front cap, but you want to make sure that you're not cramped vertically inside of these. The other thing for flow is make sure you take a look at a kitchen, especially if it's midship, that's going to have a slide. Because as you can tell, that really opens up the space and it moves my dining further away from the pass-through area. So hopefully that'll help if you're looking for a front living. Meanwhile, when you're talking about a front kitchen layout, that's going to put the cooking area in that same front raised space in fifth wheels, or like we have here in the travel trailer, on the same level as the living and dining area. Now, these kitchens often feature these gorgeous panoramic front windows. You got wraparound countertops. It's really a smart design for the RVers who love to cook and want their, more importantly, living and dining areas to be separate from where the kitchen area is, also giving you some awesome prep space. The panoramic windshield, to me, is a major perk. But here's one thing I want you to think about. You want to make sure that your RV's front windshield is well insulated. The other thing that I love about these is the storage. The layouts, the storage, this makes it exceptional for things like pantry access. You got under counter drawers, usually tons of space either around the kitchen itself or in a separate pantry area. Some of them even having walk-in pantries that really maximize not only your storage space, but your flow right here in the curved front kitchen. Now, although rare in travel trailers, you will find select fifth wheels and toy haulers with a front bath layout. What do you say we go check that out? So in fifth wheels, what you're going to find is these front bath layouts, really, they tend to offer quite possibly the largest spa-like bathroom experience you're going to find. Most of them are double vanities. If not, they got a ton of countertop space. But the feature that I really like is the expansive walk-in closet, making these things so well suited for full-time living, extended camping trips, etc., etc. Now, these typically sit over the gooseneck. So checking the ceiling height in the shower, which let's do that real quick. Oh yeah, we're fine in here. And even like I was showing you right there, standing inside the front cap, that's going to be a good thing to check out before committing. Now, many front baths include vanities and things like these walk-in closets and washer-dryer prep. Now, the one that we're in here actually has the washer-dryer prep in the half bath, but this layout provides the most private and residential bathroom setup of any fifth wheel design, in my opinion. You might also see a combination of abbreviations in these models. Their names could have letters like FLRB for front living rear bath or FLBH for front living bunkhouse. This one just happens to be RLH for rear living. So sometimes the letters can throw you off. These codes should hopefully tell you though exactly how the floor plan is arranged even before you step inside. Once you understand them, decoding RV model names actually becomes a whole lot easier. So beyond those popular staples, you're going to find so many variations. For example, Jayco's North Point 390 CKDS is a central kitchen dual suite floor plan. The Forest River Sierra 3710 HB-FB features an extra half bath with a front bunk room. You see where I'm going with this, with the nomenclature? And that's not to mention brands that are going away from traditional abbreviations altogether, or those highlighting influencer partnerships with their specific model codes. For example, Cedar Creek's 381 Mud, that's a floor plan that indicates it's a rare layout with a dedicated mudroom upon entry. And Sabre has the 37 RV Miles. This is their partnership with a popular RV influencer that helped design their ideal floor plan. And trust me, there's plenty more where those came from. As RV manufacturers continue to evolve, the line between traditional floor plan types is starting to blur. Many newer fifth wheels, actually travel trailers too, combine elements of multiple layouts, adding lofts, you got dual bedrooms, bonus spaces that adapt to the way people actually camp. These hybrids don't always fit neatly into the BH, RL, or FK categories, but they are quickly becoming some of the most in-demand designs on the market. Now, you're gonna see lofts most often in mid to high-end fifth wheels, especially those with a front or, like this one, mid-bunk configuration. Now, in these models, the loft actually sits above the bunk or the bath area, creating extra sleeping nook for kids, guests, even some storage space. And the best part, you're not sacrificing living area for that additional room. Now, if you're shopping for some models, you wanna check out the Jayco North Point 390 CKDS or the Keystone Cougar 370 FLS. Peek above the hallway, you might be surprised how much hidden space is really up there. But what about folks looking for two-bed or dual suite designs? Let me show you those. You know, another set of letters you're gonna see on RVs are things like TB, DD, DS. That means that RV has a dual suite, which a lot of manufacturers are beginning to do. They're beginning to add 2 bedrooms, sometimes even 2 full bathrooms inside an RV. Now, great for multi-generational, awesome for the family campers, even better for those folks that say, you know what, we want a vacation home that's gonna give us living space, a bedroom in the front, another bedroom, and maybe even another full bathroom in the rear, because that is what I think about when I think awesome vacation home. And yeah, now they're in RVs. That is one of my favorites. Now, one of my favorites, mid-bunk layouts, which are labeled either MB or MBS, really give you some flexibility with space too. Now, a lot of them are located with the room separating the kitchen or the living area from a bathroom or bedroom. You're gonna see them a lot in fifth wheels, and the space gives you the functionality of it being an office, a game room, a second eating space, additional storage, or sleep-in space if you need it, because a lot of them come with beds. Some of them come with bunks. So MB, if you're looking for additional space that also might need to double as an office, definitely one to check out. Another pretty sweet trend you're seeing from RV manufacturers, mostly in fifth wheels, but also in travel trailers, is the flex or office space, usually noted by the code FO or FLX. What they do is they provide you additional space that doubles as office, study, entertaining, whatever you want, really giving you the option to full-time, but also be productive while full-timing too. And the best part about it, you're not really losing anything like you would if you were to, I don't know, DIY your own front living space. Flex offices and flex spaces aren't perfect for everybody, but I gotta tell you, they're pretty perfect on their own. Now, of course, nobody's saying that couples can't grab a bunkhouse or even a 2-bedroom suite and use that space for gear storage, or that some families will prefer a rear living layout, even if that means doing things like converting the dinette, converting the sofa every night. Whether you're drawn to a family-friendly bunkhouse, a rear living room with a panoramic view, or the residential comfort of a front living layout, there's a floor plan that's going to be built the way you camp. And we even put some links down below in the description to help you continue that RV search. As always, if you got any questions, if you're interested in anything, just leave me some comments down below. We'll be glad to help you as best we can. And thank you for joining me for this buying guide on what are some RV floor plans. Hopefully this helped you. If it did, please give me a like and a subscribe. I'm Chris Young for Camping World, and I'll see you soon.